In the heart of a blooming valley called Flower Glen, nestled between silver lakes and golden meadows, stood a castle carved from rose quartz and ivy. In this magical kingdom lived two princesses, Rosalind, the elder, and Genevieve, her younger sister. Rosalind had hair like sunlight on autumn leaves and a voice full of confidence and laughter. She was known for her courage, wisdom, and graceful strength. Genevieve, on the other hand, was gentler, with silver curls that shimmered like moonlight and a soft, thoughtful heart that listened more than it spoke. They were as different as fire and snow, but their bond ran deeper than any river in the realm. One morning, as dawn bathed the sky in lilac and gold, an old traveler appeared at the gates of the castle. Dressed in layers of emerald and ash gray, she carried an object wrapped in velvet and whispered with mystery. "I bring a gift," she said in a raspy voice, "but beware. This mirror does not merely reflect your face, it reflects your heart, your fears, your longings, your truth." The king and queen, intrigued, placed the mirror in the Hall of Wisdom, a chamber sealed with magical vines that only opened for those with noble intent. The mirror was tall and framed in silver vines and sapphire blossoms. Its surface shimmered, even in darkness. Despite the warning, curiosity bloomed like wild roses in the minds of the young princesses. That night, unable to resist the lure, Genevieve tiptoed barefoot into the Hall of Wisdom. The door creaked open for her, perhaps because her heart was still untainted, though troubled. She stood before the mirror and slowly pulled back the velvet covering. What she saw was not herself. Not exactly. In the mirror stood Rosalind, but not as Genevieve knew her. She was adorned in a crown of fire gold and surrounded by people who adored her. The cheers echoed faintly through the glass. Then the image shifted. Genevieve saw herself, alone, standing in her sister's shadow, forgotten, fading. Tears welled in her eyes. Was this the truth the mirror spoke of? Was she always meant to be the quiet one, the background to Rosalind's brilliance? From that night on, Genevieve grew quiet. Not gentle quiet, heavy quiet. When Rosalind greeted her with a smile, she only nodded. When they rode together through the gardens, Genevieve rode behind. When Rosalind asked if something was wrong, Genevieve merely said, "No." But hearts that love deeply can sense when something is broken. One evening, after a quiet supper, Rosalind followed her sister to the Hall of Wisdom. Genevieve stood before the mirror once more. "Why do you come here?" Rosalind asked softly. Genevieve didn't turn around. Her voice was small. "Because here I see the truth. You're everything, and I am nothing beside you." Rosalind's eyes softened with sorrow. She stepped beside her sister and placed a hand over her heart. "That's not the truth," she said. "That's your fear." Genevieve turned to her. "But the mirror," Rosalind interrupted gently. "The mirror shows us what we believe about ourselves, not what's real. I have my light, yes, but yours is no less bright. You feel more deeply than anyone I know. You see things others miss. That is your strength. Without you, I would not be who I am." For a long moment, Genevieve said nothing. Then she whispered, "But what if the world never sees it?" Rosalind smiled. "Then I will make them see. But you must believe in it first." Just then, the mirror began to glow, not with the cold shimmer of moonlight, but a warm golden radiance. From its depths stepped the old traveler. "You have spoken the true words," she said, her voice now clear and ageless. "Only those who can see beauty in others and worth in themselves can break the mirror's enchantment." With a nod, she disappeared into a mist of petals, and the mirror cracked gently down the center, not in destruction, but in release. From that day on, Genevieve changed. Not into someone new, but into herself. She became the castle's heart, the one children came to for comfort, the one who calmed storms with a single hug, the one who reminded even kings that kindness is the truest form of power. And Rosalind, now knowing the true measure of her sister's soul, never let her walk behind again.